Good morning, Nicole. Can you hear me?
Morning.
So I got your text. I was trying to get responded, but my morning's been blurred. Good morning, Miss Desiree.
Good morning.
Do you have access to your MLS, Nicole? Why haven't you played in it yet? What's keeping you from doing so?
Just all the other stuff, probably. Like, why do I need to play on it yet? Like, I have to do all the other stuff. So
what other stuff?
Well, just whatever, the classes or, the lead generation, command, whatever, trying to get all that. So I just haven't played around in it yet.
Do you feel like you're drinking from a fire hose?
A little.
Welcome to real estate. It's going to be like that for a while because it's just a ton of stuff to get in place. It's a different world. Being a business owner, you don't have someone like telling you, do this, do this, do this. They're saying, hey, this is all the stuff you need to do, figure it out.
Yeah.
I can tell you
the time. It's fine. It's just, prioritizing then which one. I mean, I spent 3 hours with a lender.
Why?
Well, I don't know. I had no idea it was 3 hours.
What did you talk about for 3 hours?
I mean, she, got us lunch.
There you go.
And I don't know. She was just like going over loans. She was awesome, but somehow 3 hours. So, I mean, that was exhausting to me.
Who was the lender?
Bianca.
Okay, yeah, she's good people. Jesse uses Bianca.
Good. I liked her a lot.
But you learned a ton. You got lunch. You made a good strategic partnership. Time well spent.
I think it was. So, that's what I mean. That was 3 hours on a Monday. So anyway, but it can drain me a little bit. So I have to just,
Parse your time out, time block. You need to put on your calendar, time block. If it's 30 minutes a day from 9:30 to 10:30, whatever, you need to be lead generating in this time anyways, because you got Ignite. But if it's like 1:30 to 2 o'clock every day, you spend 30 minutes in MLS.
Yeah.
Playing. And then from 2:30 to 3 o'clock every day, you spend 30 minutes in Command. Time block it and honor your time blocks. We talk about that a lot in Ignite series as well as real estate. You have to have a time block. You have to honor your time block, because if you don't put it on your calendar and you do not respect that it's on your calendar, you will let literally everything else get in the way.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. So I haven't been very good about that. I got like a new planner and blah, blah, blah. And
use it.
I got to put it on there.
Yeah, if you guys need a planner, I've got paper planners you can have. They're in my office. They're given to us by Catalina Title. I've got like 4 of them. You're more than welcome to grab one.
But you know how write the plan, then you'll do the plan. But if you don't write the plan, it's just a wish or however that goes.
I'm not sure, but I get your drift though. If it's not written down, it ain't real. Period.
Right.
Period. Awesome, guys. Well, happy Wednesday morning. It is 9:03. Sorry to run a little bit late. I want to say good morning. Happy night. We are in Elementals 2 with my good friend Jesse Rojas, going to teach us how to do some marketing. He is our command expert at the dealership. Wow. My brain is mush this morning. At the Market Center. He is also our tech ambassador. He is the guy that knows the know. He knows everything about it. So you got questions, he is the expert on it. I want to give the floor to Jesse. You guys are in great hands. Also remember, there is no all partners meeting. We are running Ignite from 9 to 11 today. I will not be back on to close it out. We do ask that if you want to join in the Kristen Cole class that's going on today, there is a link that was emailed this morning right after the Ignite email. You can email the lady. I think her name is Tegan. That's how you pronounce it. She will get you registered as a Keller Williams Southern Arizona agent. You get access to all the Kristen Cole trainings for the $0 cost. So take advantage of what's available to you. Other than that, Mr. Rojas, the floor is yours.
Thanks a lot there, Big Dan. How's it going, everybody?
Good. How about you?
Can you guys hear me all right?
Yes.
Audio is working. I like it. Okay, good. All right. I'm going to start by sharing the screen here. Just give me a second.
Jesse, I made your host. Text me if you need me.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Kayla. All right. All right. So how do you all feel about how Ignite has been going so far? You guys feeling okay?
Excellent.
Awesome. So as I continue to prepare here on the back end, why don't I get some introductions going here? Some are brand new faces I have not seen yet, and a couple familiars. So why don't we start with Nicole there?
Hi, I'm Nicole Sanchez, and I've been an agent only for maybe a month almost. And I'm coming from the food industry for 16 years as in sales.
Okay.
And that's about it.
Very cool. So how is the food industry in comparison to what you're seeing now?
Well, there's much similarities for like how you do stuff and definitely prospecting, all of that stuff. It's very, very similar. People buy from people they like, building relationships. So it's obviously just a different product to learn and the how to do it. And then obviously it's a little different of, how large the product is, are you ever going to sell to that same person again, hopefully, but that part's a little different, but it's pretty similar.
Okay, cool. All right. All right. So somebody else go ahead and choose yourself. Or actually, let me have it be done this way. Nicole, go ahead and choose the next person and we'll continue on that way.
Okay, I choose Desiree.
Hi, I'm Desiree Brown. I'm new to about a month in as well. I was a stay-at-home mom for a while, and my career before that was mostly transportation. Me and my husband, Steven, over here is a team, and just getting started with contacts and things like that, just taking everything in, so.
Well, very good. Well, thank you very much. Go ahead and pick the next person.
I'll pick my husband next to me, Steven, since he's here.
Saw that coming. I'm Steven. We're both extremely new into the real estate. I came from cars and real estate field in the past, just trying to get everything down and trying to get that whole holistic picture of how to do all of this stuff.
Okay, great. Very good. All right, go ahead and pick the next one. Or I'll pick.
Sarah.
There you go.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm probably about 2 months in. Kind of new. I have flipping as a background. My ex-husband and I had a general construction business, and we flipped like 750 homes back in like 2009 to 2011 or 12. And so I'm not really new, but I'm new to buying and selling houses. So taking all that I can get right now.
It's a little bit different on this end.
It is a little, yeah, it is. So hopefully I get to flip. I really want to eventually just buy my own, flip and sell my own. So
yeah.
Okay, I'll choose Christian to go next.
Cool.
Hey, I'm Chris. I came out of investment management banking for a long time. I'm about a month in. I have a couple of houses that I own that I'm listing right now. They're going to go live this weekend. So I've been going out and getting the signs and learning how to get them placed and figuring out what I'm going to do this weekend. So I'm excited about that. And I've gone through all the paperwork through MLS and through the firm. And I just posted them up to the broker for approval last night. So we'll see what happens.
Nice. Good work. All right, go ahead and choose our next one there. Or I'll choose. All right, let's go with Jacob Durante.
All right, excuse me, my dog's barking right now.
You're fine.
So I've been in real estate for about a month and a half now. Just graduated from high school. I worked at a restaurant in high school. Yeah.
Very good, man. Well, congratulations on getting in pretty dang early. That's awesome. All right. How about I'm maybe mispronounced this name, but is it Letha Gonzalez?
That is Lisa.
Okay.
So I've been in real estate about a year and a half. I was with a small company that right after I got my license kind of put me in their sink or swim. And so I changed over to Keller Williams because I really want the education and a little bit of guidance. I come from a background of construction, 15 years in flooring, 3 years as a general contractor, and I still run my husband's general contractor business on the customer service end.
Awesome. Well, welcome. Yeah, you'll definitely get a lot of education here. I think I heard one person say it's a little like drinking from a fire hose. And it can be, especially at the beginning. But fret not. You'll go through this enough that it'll just ease out and it'll be second nature to you. It'll be fun. Okay, who else do we have here? I see a Robin Bender.
Good morning. My name is Robin. I am new to this field as well. I do have a little bit of construction in the background, ran one husband's heating and cooling company, ran the other husband's plumbing company. I am currently employed at Joann's, so construction of just about anything is not a problem. However, this is brand new, and this is what excites me, is learning all the new stuff, learning as much as I can. And so I'm very excited being here.
Very cool. Well, we're excited you're here. It's going to be fun. Okay, who do I have left? I think Joseph Keep is the only name that I don't recognize at this point.
I came from commission sales. Yeah, I sold TVs, appliances, furniture. Then from there, I moved to beds. I sold beds. And yeah, after I actually finished my license while I was working in commission sales, I didn't really have time to do anything with it. And then once COVID hit, I had all kinds of time. So here I am.
Very cool. All right. Well, welcome everybody. A little bit about myself. Big Dan kind of already hit on a few things. I am the Market Center Tech Coordinator. I am also a Labs Advisor for Keller Williams Realty International, or Realty Inc. rather. And I come from a pretty diverse background, I think some would say. I spent about 10 years in pharmacy, on the retail side, on the specialty pharmacy side, compounding, mail service, all that stuff. And then I jumped into IT work in the technology side and with a behavioral health company here locally, and quickly moved up the ranks there, became a project manager amongst a lot of other things, and then decided to switch over here into real estate in 2017, became licensed by the end of February, and I've been here ever since. It's been amazing. Year over year, I've been able, with the education that we have here available to us, and just all the outlets, everybody's here ready to help you. I've been able to double my business every year. Actually, between year one and year two, it was a quadruple business. And then between last year and this year, it has been a double. So I doubled that. So I like that kind of progression. If that sounds like something that you would like, I think you're in the right place, because it can happen for sure. Great. So today we are in Elemental session number 2. So we're no longer in the Spark series, right? Is that correct? Is that the getting started on this part?
Yep.
So now we are diving into the meat of everything here. I think you had prospecting just yesterday, right?
Yes.
And that was with Johanna Rhodes, I believe. She's incredible, right?
She was out, Dan, coach.
Oh, Dan Coach. Okay. All right. I saw her name on the schedule, but prospecting is great. So right off the bat, who can tell me what the difference between marketing and prospecting is?
Prospecting, you're putting out your time, you're spending time, and marketing, you're spending money.
Right, exactly. So one's time extensive and the other one is money expensive. One is short term, one is long term. Which one is which?
Marketing is short term.
I'm sorry?
Yep.
Marketing is short term.
Actually, it's the reverse. Marketing is the long term. That's something you're putting out there for an extended period of time, hoping people will bite on to your hook there. Okay, that's what that is. So it's out there. It's not active. It's just thrown out there. Prospecting is more short term. You can find people that are ready to transact today if you do it. Right? You just call around people. You talk to your friends and family. They might know somebody or they might know somebody, and it just keeps going on from there. And eventually you'll find somebody that's ready to transact now or maybe in the very short future. And we're qualifying our leads, right? We're doing A, B, and C type clients. We're making sure that they like me, they trust me, they want to work with me. That's what the game is here. So your sphere is huge here. All right, so let's go ahead and go to the next slide here. If it works for me, there we go. Here's what we'll focus on. We're going to talk about lead generation for buyers and sellers and how we market seller listings. So today we'll cover some topics. We'll talk about some concepts, and we'll also go over some command demos. Have any of you worked at all in command as of yet? I see one, head nod, couple. Okay. And for those that haven't jumped in, what do you think is keeping you from trying it? We're just logging in, clicking around. Anyway, so
I'm actually kind of afraid that I'm gonna like it so much that I'll spend too many hours doing it.
I can see that. A lot of yeah, I can see that, and it can really be a lot of your 80 in some aspects. So we talk about the 80-20 principle, right? So it could be a lot of 80 involved in there. The best thing about it is it's all in one place and it's all connected together. So all the different applets work pretty well together between your design section and your smart plans to your campaigns, what have you. They all kind of interlink there, and it is a great system so far, and it's still in its infancy. But that's one thing to keep in mind, is that it's not fully matured just yet. Anybody else have any experience with command so far?
Well, just contacts, and then I did one design.
Okay, cool. So a little bit experience in design is good. And we'll be in designs a lot today, actually. So I'll run a couple demos on what it looks like. We'll do some case studies. We'll examine some previously made pieces from designs, and we'll see what it's trying to convey. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and hit on the next one. So marketing versus prospecting. We kind of already touched on some of the things. So money intensive, time intensive. I like to switch out intensive and the money part for expensive, because it's all expensive. Some of them can be pretty expensive depending on what you're doing. The good thing about what we got going on in command in terms of marketing is relatively cheap in comparison to other systems, in comparison to other ways of generating leads. It's actually pretty cool. So we talked about time intensive, proactive, immediate results. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. So long-term is marketing. Who's driven by a bus stop and see a sign by, that's probably a lender. Who's seen that before? Anybody? Okay, got a couple hands raised. Yes, or you're shopping at Safeway, for example. You're getting some groceries and they have those little plaques in the carts. Anybody seen any advertisements in there? Yeah, cool. What about something like this? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Who knows what I'm talking about? There you go. See, that's all part of marketing. And what you just demonstrated there is mind share. So McDonald's got you.
And I don't even eat McDonald's.
At least you recognize them, right? So
Yep.
you'll be able to hear those jingles, recognize those logos, remember phone numbers, call 1-800-STEAMERS, right? Everybody knows what that one is. So that's all marketing. None of that's prospecting. No one's going to call somebody and say, hello, this is 1-800-STEAMERS and sing a jingle. No one's going to do that. Prospecting is a little bit more, can be formal, can be informal, but it's definitely going to be more personal. So things like that. Okay, so let me describe some things here. Right now we have a big retail company out there and their logo looks a little something like this. It starts out with an outer ring of white, a blank inner ring, and then a white circle in the center. What company is that?
Target.
Target, right? It used to be red, but now it's white, right? That's a little bit of a shift in the branding. Not sure why they went from red to white. Most Targets are red. Just thinking about it. But you start recognizing these things. What company am I describing when we're going from red on the top? We have a white center and a blue bottom, and it's all looking like a circle or an orb. And it's a soft drink. Anybody recognize that one?
Pepsi.
Right. So all of those little things, logos, phrases, catchphrases, right? That's why I remember them. You know, Sarah there with the "I'm loving it." That's a that's a catchphrase right there. You know, all those different things are all marketing. They're all part of the mind share. Why is mind share important?
Because then it's forefront, like Nike. I was just going to say, just do it. Every single time you hear just do it, you're going to think of Nike, whether you want to or not.
Right. So that's what we're trying to do with our marketing. We're trying to get people to think, oh, wait a minute, I want to buy or sell a house. I'm going to think Jesse. I want to think Letha. I want to think, you know, we got Robin, we got Desiree. We want them to think of you first, right? And what's one way that these companies make sure that we know who they are?
They have like phrase.
Okay, one at a time.
Branding.
Branding, right? That's one way.
Catchphrase.
A catchphrase, right? All these different things. You're watching your favorite sitcom. What happens every 6 minutes or so? Everyone's annoyed.
Commercial. My kids hate commercials. Because they have Netflix now. They're like, Mom, what are these things on TV? Why do they keep doing this to us?
Yeah, exactly. So they have commercials. Why? So they're right in front of you. You know, they pay millions upon millions of dollars every single year just to have their product placed in front of you. I'm not saying that that's what you're going to do, but you can start, and it doesn't have to be a very big budget like that, right? You don't have to have a TV commercial. Those are expensive. Maybe one day you'll have a billboard, you know, or maybe you will have a commercial. There's maybe one realtor I can think of that might have a commercial here in town.
Marcy Williams.
Yeah, everybody sees it. Yeah, Marcy Williams. But that's it. I mean, do you have to get that big? Or do you have to market that way? No, not necessarily. There are some other really successful teams and other agents here in town that are kicking butt without having to have a TV commercial. And the best way we're going to do that, it's from prospecting, and it's keeping up with your database. So if you don't have a database, use Command. That's one way you can schedule up your phone calls and keep in contact with your people. It's a pretty awesome system. Okay, so let's see. Boom. Now let's think a little deeply about what our marketing could look like here. Okay, so you've seen the prospecting side, right? You've seen the face-to-face, those kind of things. There's a little bit of blend in between for both. You got farming events, networking, and purchase things like referral networks, advertising networks, clientele. Who knows what a referral network is? Give me an example.
We talked about that yesterday. Like, I have family in Montana, and I asked them, you know, if you need any real estate needs, give me a call and I'll hook you up. And then I get in contact with one of our KW agents up in the area, and we create a relationship and a referral relationship. They give me Tucson clients, I give them Montana clients.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's it. That's part of it. Who else can we have a referral network with? Strategic partners, maybe a lender, maybe a landscaper, a painter, other contractors that you've hired over the years, right? Wouldn't they be a good source for referrals, right? I think a painter would be a great one to have, because usually people like to paint their homes right before they throw it on market. And they usually do that on their own without the real estate agent giving them that heads up. Hey, you should probably paint this place. That's usually what people think of first, right? So find a painter, develop that relationship. A referral. So a referral agreement is an awesome thing if you do it right. So it's all about accountability too. It's like, hey, bud, I sent you 3 people for painting jobs. How did those go? Great. I need you to send me 1 per month. Is that cool? I want to continue to do this, but it's not going to be a one-way street. I need you to send me some business too if I'm going to keep you this busy. Cool. Like, it doesn't have to be as cold as that. Make it sound nicer. Make it sound like you, but you kind of get the idea of where I'm going with it, right? Cool. Advertising networks. There are several of them out there. You know, who can we think of right off the top of our heads? Anybody? I can think of one. It starts with face and ends with book. Right? Facebook is an advertising network. That's how they make their money. It's free to us to use only because, like, as users, as just common users, it's free to us because they have all these advertisers paying for everything, right? You see the little ads here and there. You see even us, we pay for some ads here and there, right?
Can I ask you a question on that specifically?
Sure.
So I've gotten different, people's advice, because obviously everybody's got their opinions in this, creating yourself and branding yourself and starting and yada. Some say to do a business Facebook page for your real estate, and some say to just use your personal page and manage it, because maybe you have more friends, maybe people don't want to go to your business page. It's more work for you to manage too. What do you suggest?
I suggest a blend of the two.
Okay.
Seriously. You can invite everybody to your business page. A lot of them won't, and that's
right.
Okay. But if they're your friend, then you can share something so you can post something on your business page and you can share it on your timeline, on your personal timeline.
Okay.
Okay. Eventually, what I've noticed, right? So when I first created my Facebook business page back in 2018, I had a solid 150 followers for like the first year and a half. And I was like, why isn't anybody following my business page? I'm trying to like help them, I'm trying to be in front of them. And only 150 of my 1,500 friends, that's 10%, are following me. Well, what do I do? Well, I started sharing my posts from my business page on my personal. And as people saw that happening continuously, and it's not a bombardment of just business stuff. Oh, real estate, that's all I got. No, it's not anything like that. It's just 20% of what I post is pertaining to business, right? So there's a balance, and it's kind of off kilter, right? Off kilter. 20% of what you post should be about your business. And so just think about that. If you post one thing a day, 5 days a week, how many times are you posting about business? One time, right? And as I was doing that, I started noticing that my follower count started rising. And now, I mean, it's been a while, almost 3 solid years, and I'm over 500 now, or at least I was. I'll have to double check that.
On your business page.
Right. And it just continues to go like that. is it part of what you're sending out in your email? Is it part of your signature? Personally, for me, it's not. However, I do send out a digital business card that does have the link, and most people like to just follow that. I do post quite a bit about real estate on my business page, and I share maybe one of those a week on my personal one. Unless it's something really interesting or I really think it needs to be in front of people, then I'll send something a little bit more frequently. But definitely a blend of two. Definitely a blend of two. Okay. Because you'll need your Facebook business page to run ads. And you can run campaigns, Facebook ads from command as part of the partnership that KW has with Facebook to gain that exposure and get those leads. And they're pretty cheap compared to everybody else. How many of you looked at Zillow and looked at the Premier Agent thing and stuff like that and found that it was crazy expensive?
Yes.
How expensive is it?
Well, I was quoted between $35 a month and $1,600 a month, and they were definitely trying to push me into the $1,600 a month, telling me that that $35 a month was only going to get me in this little tiny area and very little notice. But if I was to spend the additional money, at least $500 or more per month, that it would have me top of the line. And yeah, I'm like, oh, that's not going to quite work for me.
Not going to work for me either. You know, and then Zillow entered the brokerage game. So why are we paying another brokerage to send us our leads? If it's our listing, it's my lead, my listing, my lead kind of thing. So $1,600, that is pricey. You can buy a house with that kind of cash.
It's a mortgage payment for a nice
It
house.
is. It's a solid mortgage payment. That's
Yep.
like what, a $250,000 house, maybe a little bit more, but still, like, goodness. You know, so our partnership with Facebook is actually it's actually exclusive to us in terms of real estate, right? I mean, other people can run ads and stuff like that, but our partnership is amazing in that our ads are run through the Keller Williams network, or it's run through that account. And what's beautiful about it is with that partnership, we have a reduced rate as to how much it costs us for lead generation, being that we have 180,000 plus agents around the world, and all of them are taking advantage of this in some shape or form. That's a lot of revenue to Facebook. So KW,
how much does it cost us usually?
If you have a $20 budget, you can just budget at $20. If you do that, I did that actually. I did that, and I got 16 leads off of one ad for $20.
Really?
So yeah, and it was really cheap. One of the leads actually is a long-term nurture that I have, and that's a potential $850,000 sale. That paid for itself pretty quickly, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
But the name of the game is follow-up, right? That's the thing. You can market everything, you can prospect everything, you can add tons and tons of names to your database, but if you don't keep in contact with them, they're going to find someone else. Maybe it'll be me. Maybe it'll be somebody else. Maybe it'll be Jason. Maybe it'll be Christian. Maybe it'd be a different brokerage altogether. Kind of hate that, right? No, that's mine. I should have been in contact with this person constantly. You know, that's where we got to. Fortunes in the follow-up, absolutely. And that's what Command is there for. That's why you enter in those things, your contacts into the database, and then add them on a smart plan. Something that you don't have to think about. It just sends something like the monthly neighborhood nurture or the bi-weekly neighborhood nurture, something like that, where it doesn't require you to think of anything. It just happens. Right? Here's some stats. Here's some stats. Here's some more information. This is what people are liking in your area, kind of thing. There are other things that you can keep in contact with, like a birthday plan. Who doesn't like getting a call for their birthday? You know how many realtors called me yesterday because they had me on the birthday plan in Command? I lost count. It was a lot. It was a ton. I got videos, I got Facebook messages, I got text messages, I got phone calls. It was just all over the place. Why? Because they're leveraging their system, right? I have an example of a birthday card right here. This was when I received here at the office. You know, people wouldn't remember that. If you have 1,500 friends on Facebook and you're not keeping track of when everybody's birthday is, and they're in your database, you should definitely throw that in there. I mean, that kind of goes with direct mail, right? So postcard, birthday cards, or anniversaries are important, home anniversaries. There are tons of things you can talk about, right? So let's look at this marketing column real quick here. And we kind of touched on a little bit of them. Online advertising, social media, right? Pay-per-click advertising, that is also social media advertising. You also have Google. Google's out there. Google ads are there. Google ads are a little bit different. That's a subject I'm still looking to master here very soon. But we talked about offline advertising. We talked about those bus stop benches. We talked about those shopping cart things, moving vans. Who's been to our JV office and have seen a particular van in the parking lot? Whose name is plastered all over that? Danny Roth. It's like, dang it. That's free advertising right there, all over the place. Especially when it's out on the road, it's like, hey, that's pretty cool. That realtor has a truck that he lends his clients to move in or out of their house. That's pretty awesome. I want to have a fleet of those. Just don't tell Danny that. Let's see. Radio segments. If you have any friends in radio, maybe they'd like to give you a little time. Sometimes it's at a premium, but if it gets you some leads and you become the trusted realtor of all of those listeners, that's a pretty big deal right there, right? Live social media. I know one thing about Dan. Dan loves his videos, his Facebook videos. So how many of y'all have done one? I know Jason's done some. I've seen them, right? I know Dan does them all the time. When he bought his house and was remodeling it, he was showing it. Here's my weekly update. It's kind of fun. Some of them were a little funny, I think. He's got a pretty good personality for that. Blogs. Blogs, let's change that B. Actually, I want to make that a V to vlog. Has anybody followed somebody on YouTube because of the videos that they create?
Yep, I actually read a statistic that if you have video embedded into your blog, your chances of being seen on Google dramatically increase. So just by adding video, nobody wants to read anymore. They want to be able to hear it and see it.
Exactly. Even something like this, right? You can have a little video forum like this. Look at you. I got 12 people on this call, including myself. How cool is that? Like, maybe you can set something else like that. If you want to work with home buyers, the first-time home buyers, they need some education on it. Maybe you can set up one of these meetings on Zoom or actually Google Meet, because that's free for you through the KW Google Suite partnership that we have there, right? Do that. Look it up. It's pretty awesome. I mean, I like Zoom and everything, but if Google Meet is going to give me all the features for free, I'm just going to use that, honestly.
Is Zoom not free?
Zoom is free for 40 minutes. Beyond that, it cuts you off. It does cost to have like what we're doing here. It does cost. I paid for a year's worth. It was only $120 or whatever, maybe. I don't remember. I think that was it on a sale, but it's not fully featured. It doesn't have everything. It just lets my meetings go for longer than 40 minutes. And a lot of your classes could be longer than that. I mean, this one is, right? This one's going to be for 2 hours. So think of something like that. Look up Google Meet. It's an awesome thing. And it does a lot of comparable things, maybe even a little bit better than what we have in Zoom. Leverage your tools, right? For meetings like this, somebody else has a paid account, leverage Zoom. Like, that's fine. But have with Meet for you if you want to run a tight budget. You don't have to spend a lot of money to get going here. Cool. Promotional items. Man, I really want to get some shirts made for my team and just have them there as a closing gift. I'm like, hey, boom, here's a shirt. What size do you wear? Extra small? Not me. I need a couple X's and an L, at least in that one, that kind of thing. We talked about a quarterly market update. So in Command, you can do direct mail. We have postcard system built in. How cool is that? You can create your own design and then go right into a campaign and send it to a particular neighborhood, maybe even a particular couple, like even a street. It's very, very precise. It's actually pretty cool. Sponsorships. What is a sponsorship? Who's seen a sponsorship? What's a common one here in town?
Oh, I don't know about maybe for the rodeo, but I used to sponsor my kids' sports team.
That's exactly what I was wanting to hear. Yep.
For soccer,
Sports
yeah,
team.
when I did photography.
Yeah, kids sports teams. Huge. That's huge. You know, you sponsor a little league. What? Sponsor a club baseball team or whatever. That's your name all over the place. These bags were purchased by, Sarah Kuhn, real estate agent with Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. Like, the kids are happy because they get a free bag to have all their gloves housed, their cleats, their bats, balls, everything. And they're happy they get it for free. And then there it is for you right there. Advertisement paid for. It's awesome. It's long term. It's long term. Has anybody already employed some of these things?
I have a Facebook business page separate from my personal page, and I put my listings. I have it set up for I think it's MailChimp or something that does automatic posts. Somehow it's hooked up through command and everything, and it does little blog posts. On top of that, I put my listings, and then I take my listings and post them to groups, and that's where I get a lot of my page likes on my business pages, through the groups.
Very cool. Yeah, that's a big thing. So who has an awesome interest here? Like, who has something that they love to do outside of real estate just for fun?
I go shooting.
All right. There's a shooting group out there, right? You can connect with people on shooting. I know Jason Thompson likes motorcycles, right? He's a rider. So I'm sure he's part of all kinds of groups with motorcycles. Special interest to you, right? I'm not talking about to everybody else. I mean, if that's something that you like, you could be an all-star quilter. Find a quilter group. Talk to them, You could make pottery. Get on a pottery group. People like to work with people that are like them or who they'd like to be. So, if there's something that you like. So Desiree, what kind of hobby do you have that's unique?
Puppets, actually, like Jim Henson. I make hand and rod puppets.
That's awesome.
So I'm a big into Stan Winston character of art. So I've done latex monster masks, things like that. Yeah.
That's awesome. Who would have known that if I hadn't asked that question? Seriously, I wouldn't have. Like, that's awesome. That's really cool. There's a very particular group of people that like to do that kind of thing like you. And I'm sure you found a few groups out there. So one thing that you could do is you can basically clone a group that's similar to that, but have it focused to you. And
yeah, I've been thinking about how to do that and time block it so I can be posting to that group and like make it actual enjoyable for everybody.
Yeah. There's a lot of ways to do that. Very cool. I like it. So if you have a special interest out there, if somebody has an interest in stock investing or something like that, you can do that, or you can talk about investing in general. What does that look like on the stock market? How does it look like in real estate? What's it look like in other such things? Bonds, all these other things. Talk about those. Talk about what you know and love. People will be attracted to that. And they're like, so do you do this? I'm like, actually, yeah, I'm also a realtor. I'm also in real estate. This is what I do as a professional. This is what I do. It inevitably will come up as a subject, right? So what do you do for work nowadays? What do you do? Oh, you sell homes? I didn't want to sell my home. Can you tell me how much my home is worth? That's usually how it happens. Oh yeah, no, there's a connection right there. Jason sharing his past of being a pro mascot. I mean, Big Bird was basically a mascot. Let's be serious here, but it was still designed by someone like you there, Desiree. It was just pretty cool. That's awesome. Okay, cool. All right, our next slide. Let's move on over to this. Okay. Marketing Mastermind. You guys ready? Let's think of some things. We already covered some of these. Seriously, how do you know where the customer is and how do you meet them there? Who can answer that question?
Well, just like you were saying with the groups of interest,
There you
so
go.
like-minded people.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's one way to do it. If you like people that like, I don't know, people that are really big into Hondas, right? The cars, the little tuners, the little racers, right? People will be really big into that. There's always a big community around that. If you like cars, do it. If you want to be part of a 50 BMG kind of group, you can find them out there. If you don't know what that is, I think I'm kind of talking just right to Jacob there. But that's kind of how you do it. Any other examples?
Ask Jacob what he did yesterday with the animal drive, the dog food drive.
So there's this cat group that my girlfriend fosters for. And so I called them up yesterday and I said, hey, I'm going to be out of town for the next week, but when I get back after the new year, do you want to do a fundraiser? I'll set up a little donation box in my office and I'll call a bunch of people. I just wanted to get my name out there while promoting you guys. I think it'd be great because I could put my name out with your guys' group and then put your name out with my real estate team. So I'm doing a little fundraiser. So if anyone wants to donate any cat supplies, I'll take them. It's going to be from the 3rd to the 10th of January.
Very cool. I like that. That's definitely one way to do it. Absolutely. Good job, Jacob. There are a lot of different causes around town. One thing that I think Stormy can attest to this too. His partner there, Anthony Sotelo. Has anybody met him already? You will. Don't worry. You will. He's big on his community, especially his immediate community, especially in speaking specifically about his neighborhood. What does he do, Stormy, that he does every week?
Oh, yeah. Since COVID hit, they a lot of people went out of work, lost jobs and stuff like that. So we try to support local businesses. And one of the ways that we do that is we get food trucks together every single Friday in Mission West. And one of the food trucks that participates is actually from Mission West. And she's big in that kind of community, the food truck community, because it's actually a community out there of vendors that are food trucks, and she helps out a lot. So, that's just one of the things.
Yeah, but that's a big example, right? It's focused and it's consistent. And he's always advertising about it. I don't see anybody else advertising it. I see him consistently doing that. And that's become his thing in Mission West. That's pretty awesome. I like that a lot. So that's how you can find out where your customer is. If you want to sell homes in your neighborhood, that's one way to do it. Other than just walking your dog and happen to cross somebody that's watering their plants and having a conversation. It does happen and does work, but that is one very focused way of doing that. That's awesome. So how do you communicate your value proposition? Well, let's use Anthony as an example. So the value proposition that Anthony's bringing is hey, you know what? Not only am I a realtor, I really care about this community. I want all the small businesses like mine to thrive throughout, this entire pandemic and beyond. So let me help you by helping me too. It's kind of thing. It's a reciprocating type thing. I like it. It goes a long way, right? Anybody else have any other way to communicate your value?
There's a gardening group here in Oracle, and they have, that's something that I think I enjoy gardening. So to get involved in the community garden.
There you go. Very cool. I like that. Every year with KW, we have Red Day. And Red Day is a way we give back to the community. And one of the things that I noticed a couple agents have done is we have a lot of community gardens spread out all over all over town there. And one felt like, you know what, I want to just sponsor this particular garden, and I want to come out and clean this stuff all the time, keep it clean, keep it growing, because that's what it's there for, right? It's there for food. Really, it's what they plant. They plant food there, right? So upkeep of that, yeah, it takes some time, but it shows something really tremendous that, hey, I care about this. You know, what needs to happen here? I want to sponsor something, a cleanup day or a harvest day or something like that, right? So kind of like, that's kind of piggybacking on what you're talking about there, Letha. I don't know, the gardening, I don't know if it's for food or, you know, that kind of produce, or if it's just fun for flowers. That's kind of cool too, you know. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I like
ours is a food and vegetable garden.
Right. Yeah. And then, you know what we've already talked about, answers number 3, how can we come from contribution and connect to a meaningful way? You know, Anthony Sotelo with his food truck rally, the gardening, that gardening is going to be huge for that, because everybody benefits from it. It's really awesome. You know, what other ways can you do it? You know, for me specifically, I'm a big musician. I love music. Period. I'm a product of music education, and one way that I give back is at my church. I teach teenagers music theory at church. You know, so I get a little involved. You know. And I want to branch out with that. Like right now, I got a small group. I want it to be bigger. And it's going to take some time, but I'm sure with these seeds that I'm planting here, it'll begin to grow out and recruit more in. That's going to be pretty fun. How important do you think branding and aesthetic consistency is in your marketing, and how do you achieve it? Well, let's look at some of the examples that we've already taken a look at. Target. It's a Target. All they did was change colors from red to white, you know. It's consistent. The shape hasn't changed. They just did a little rebranding on color. Kind of went with a little bit more of a modern color palette, but it's still them, unmistakably, right? We've seen the Pepsi logo have some transformations over the decades, right? But it's still quintessentially Pepsi. Coca-Cola hasn't changed their logo ever. It's been consistent for however long Coca-Cola's been out there. You know, when it did have the fun stuff in it.
And that's just a font.
And that's just a font. Exactly. It's just a font. But that red has been consistent with them too. Yeah. Red and that font, it's not changed, and it's important. It's consistent. People recognize it. You know, people have come and gone, and the new people still recognize what the old have seen. That's quite the brand recognition right there. Absolutely. So how do you achieve it? Well, I think we talked about that by being consistent, right? We talked about Facebook posts. We talked about logos. We talked about other things. I got an echo. Yeah, we talked about all these different things. And that's how we can achieve it. I'm getting a little bit of feedback. So
somebody who's listening is listening too loud and you're hearing their volume.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. It's coming through on mine pretty loudly, but that's okay. Yeah, this is all great stuff. So the last one there, should you follow up with these leads generated from marketing? I answered this question for you guys. Don't all answer all at once.
Isn't it just by calling them?
Follow up, yeah, just calling them. You know, throw them in command, throw them on a smart plan. You know, remind yourself to talk to these people, because chances are, Stormy, you've probably seen this already. You've probably seen this many times, actually. You talk to somebody, they say, "Oh, I'm about a year out before they make a move in real estate," but you keep in constant contact with them, and then guess what? 4 months later, what are they telling you? Hey, I'm ready to buy a house.
Yeah.
Or, hey, I'm ready to sell my house.
Yep.
Was that a year?
It's either that, and if you don't do the follow-up, they went and found a different realtor.
They will work with anybody that comes in and has a nice smile. you know, um, even if they promise you up and down, you know what, Stormy, I'm glad you're in the real estate business. When I'm in this, I'm looking to find something. I'm going to call you and we're going to have that house. We're going to buy that house. And then 2 months later, you find out, oh, we're just closing on our house. And you're like, well, what the heck? I'm right here. You didn't say anything to me. That kind of thing, right? So we want to make sure that hold on one second. Okay. All right. So yeah, we want to follow up with them. Put them on the smart plans. Send them emails. Send them everything short of Morse code and smoke signals. Yeah. I don't think carrier pigeon is still a thing, but you don't want to send that either.
Hey, Jesse, when I meet someone, the command has a smart plan called 8x8.
Yep.
So when I first meet them, throw them on an 8x8 right away. That's
throw them on it. Exactly. You know, the more information they give you, there are different plans for that, right? So they're like, hey, actually, today's my birthday. Who just took a note saying, yep, actually, if everybody wants to put it down, yesterday was my birthday, you can put that in your database. You know, that kind of thing. Or, oh, I really like this neighborhood. You're writing down that neighborhood name and you're putting them on a monthly neighborhood nurture so that you tell them what's going on in that area, right? There's more than one way to do it. That 8x8 is a great start, though. There's some other smart plans out there. Was it 12 days of pain, where it's mostly just like boom, 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 relentless communication, right? We have the DTD2. Who's heard of that formula yet? Yeah, we got a couple hands raised. Good. Like that's one way to keep in contact with your SOI. That's on a quarterly basis. That's not exclusively the only time that you're going to be talking to these people, right? You got other things. They got birthdays. They got anniversaries. You know, if they tell you their dog's birthday, guess what you're going to be doing? You're going to be sending them a birthday card to their dog. You know, it seems silly, but those are family members, right? Keep that in mind. Cool. Let's see, what else do we have here? I think anybody want to add anything else before we move on? Any marketing masterminding things they want to throw in there?
How about calling them up on a regular basis and going out to have a little coffee or something, just so you solidify the relationship? Because, you know, electronic stuff is great, but it doesn't get relationship.
It doesn't mean that much nowadays, does it?
No.
People long for that physical interaction of some sorts, right? That meeting at the coffee shop, that lunch at Reforma, or, you know, going shooting on the range, you know, going on a hunting trip, things like that. People want that right now, and they're not getting it. You know, I've been doing Zoom all year, and I'm a little zoomed out, but here I am, ready to go. Let's keep powering through. But every chance that I get to meet with somebody in person, I'm taking it. That's just me personally. Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much, Christian, for throwing that in there. A phone call, pop by, something like that, some kind of invitation. Okay. Take action. Let's so we're going to talk about creating and posting marketing materials in Command. But before we do that, it is nearly 10 o'clock. Why don't we go ahead and take a little break and be back at 10:05? Can we all do that? And then we'll jump right into this. Sound like a plan? All right, we'll see you at 10:05. All right. And I am back. I got Nicole back. Welcome back, Nicole. Wait on everybody else. Everybody chime on in when you're back. If you can hear me.
Happy late birthday.
Hey, thanks a lot there, man. I appreciate that. Okay, so now we are going to give it 2 more seconds there, and then we're going to jump into a tech demo. Everybody see that? We're going to be looking into designs. Now, there is way too much to cover in this little bit of time, but we'll cover what we can.
See if yours loads. Mine never loads for me.
Okay, well, let's take a look. All right, can everybody see my command there? Can you see this task section right here? Everybody see that? Tasks. Yep, cool. Well, I purposely left these here because I put myself on a birthday plan to see how it works. It's actually pretty cool. You can see here that it tells me birthday social post, birthday call, and a previous task was send a birthday card to Jesse. I accidentally clicked it close. I wanted to show you guys, but that's what it said. So, and it usually notifies you 5 to 7 days in advance. That should be enough time for you to get a card and write some cool stuff in it and send it up, right? Especially with mail in this part of the year, everything being delivered from groceries to Lysol wipes to you name it, it's being delivered. So it'll congest it a little bit there. But yeah, it's one of the cool things about our system. This is a birthday smart plan. So if you got birthdays, throw it in there. Cool. So let's go ahead and jump into some designs. If you'll notice over here on the right-hand side, it gives you a little bit of a designs update, what's newly added and available for you to use. All right, we got a thank you for being you kind of design there. We have a happy holidays one, which is pretty cool. Another one.
That's the one I made.
Yeah? Cool. Nice. We have a Hanukkah one for all of our friends celebrating Hanukkah. That starts pretty soon, right? Be pretty cool. Got a Merry Christmas one. And we got a Kwanzaa. Right? So we're all over the place. I like it. You got options. That's all that means. And I love options. Who loves having options? Right? Yeah. Some people hate it. Stop giving me options. Just tell me what to do. I'm not that way. But all right, so let's dive in. So you can see what's newly added here. And we're going to go to the design section here. So the little palette and paintbrush, right? So we're right here. And we click on into designs. And what you'll see are your templates. So this right here is basically the collection of everything that you've created, saved, used, whatever you want to put in here. The most recent thing that I did with Jason Thompson here was I showed him, I created an open house flyer for him because he was on a time crunch. So this is one of the things you can do within Command. Pretty cool, right? This was literally drag and drop. I didn't format anything. I didn't pick colors. I didn't do anything. I maybe pick the photos. That was it. Everything else was from the listing and drag and drop. It's super simple, right? Who would go to this house if you got a flyer like this inviting you to an open house? Who would come? Yeah, Letha, you got Robin. Anybody else? Yeah, Steven went. Yeah, it's a nice flyer, right? So the cool thing is is you don't have to design anything. So that eliminates something out of your 80%, right? So you can focus on that 20. If it takes you just 5 minutes to do this and print some copies, I think 5 minutes is a good enough time. That's all it takes. Some of us might be a little bit more picky about which design we end up choosing. Excuse me. And that might make things a little bit longer to finish up, but it's an option. Pretty cool stuff right here. I need to switch something here. Okay. So I did a quick little, I showed you the quick little open house flyer. Let's build one from scratch. Who's ready for that? Sweet. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. So you'll notice in the section here, let me move this. You got a ton of stuff. You have templates, you have My Designs, which is essentially what we were looking at before. And you have brand assets, right? So brand assets is a new section that was just added to the designs applet here in Command. And you can pick your own colors, right? That is awesome. You can upload a font that you want to use. You can upload your logos, right? So
you can upload your own fonts?
Yeah, it says upload your first font to the platform. Yep.
Oh man, okay. Awesome.
Right? So you can do that. You can do logos. These are some of an example of the ones that I've used over some time here. Smart text, right? So this is pulling from your marketing profile within Command. The marketing profile is one of the first things that you get set up there. Okay. Then you can add some images that you've used. This is my lender partner, Bianca. You might recognize her. But, just one of the things you can use. You got elements here. You can pull some in. You can upload. These are just different stickers, objects, shapes, icons, and such. It's up to you if you want to use that section. There's a video section if you want to just upload some videos for your marketing pieces. So like you have, let's see, what can you use a video for? You can use a video on your campaigns. You can use it as a social post that you can schedule up in the campaign section of Command. A lot of different things you can do. And there's a specific section for files too. If you want to add things, that's a file, right? So a photo, a document, something to that effect, right? So this new section here is awesome. Be sure to upload everything that you require because it will be available to you once you get working on some of these items here. Okay, so let's go ahead and who has an idea of what they would like to see? Bueller.
So we're just creating marketing material right now? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, we're creating marketing material. Who would like to see one created real quick?
Let's make one for my fundraiser.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, for a fundraiser, let's see. What can we do?
A flyer maybe, or even a postcard.
Yep. So let's check out this event invitations one, right?
Yeah.
So we have see all, right? So we have them categorized. There's social wide, which is something you use for Facebook, Social Square, Instagram related, stories related. That's Facebook and Instagram, and now WhatsApp. I didn't even know that, but it's in there. WhatsApp has a story section now. I think even YouTube has a story section now. Door hangers. There's your standard flyers, postcards, different type of flyer, different type of postcard, and your standard postcard. Okay, so which one should we do?
I would say just flyer.
Okay. This one here. So which of these three would you like to see? How about the first one? That first
Yeah,
one
we
work
can
for you?
just do that one. Yeah.
All right, let's do that. So I'm clicking use. That's all I did at this point. We've chosen the design and I'm clicking use. All right, so here's how it works, everybody. It has a very simple, you're invited to, and then we come in here. And what's the name of your event?
I don't know yet. Do you want to just put the name of the company or the nonprofit, or?
We'll put the nonprofit down here in the description, right?
Okay, so
We'll
I'd
put
just say like
benefiting such and such.
I don't really know what to put for the name. I was just my name, I guess. I don't really know.
Okay, let's everybody be creative. Get the creative juices flowing. How can we
Yeah,
help?
what's the name of the shelter?
Yeah, I mean, what are you fundraising for?
It's Scar. The name of the fundraiser is Scar. It's Southern Arizona Cat Adoptions.
So
Scar fundraiser.
Yeah.
Southern Arizona
Cat Adoptions.
Food drive.
Yeah.
Drive. Oop. Sometimes I can type. How's that? You know, just something to get going. Okay. So literally, well, all I'm doing is double clicking into these fields, right? You can edit anything that has a box in it, right? And then down here, we're going to say benefiting and then you define everything, the Southern Arizona Cat Adoption
Nonprofit or group.
Group, okay. I would call it nonprofit group. Why not? Right? Benefiting the Southern Arizona Cat Adoption nonprofit group. So then we'll put in here, please bring cat food items to any Keller Williams, Southern Arizona office. Let's see. Okay, that'll work for now, right? And when does it begin?
January 3rd to January 10th.
Right. You can do some quick formatting here. Not everything fits on the same line. Click out of this. You can just make this a little bit wider. You see how it has guidelines? Oh man, if I didn't have these guidelines, I'd go crazy. I need my things lined up. Okay. So then to make it just simple for our demonstration purposes, I'm just going to throw in stuff that I have to my command here, right? Then all you guys would just do is duplicate. Okay. So I'm going to add my photo here. Check this out. I'm just dragging and dropping, guys. This is all it's taking. See this? Replaced. Done. Okay. If you have your stuff memorized, this will be pretty easy here. So my website, actually, it's not even a .com. Like this.
Where was it again that you added those in the My Assets, or you have to
The
add
My Assets, yeah. Yeah, right when you log into the designs thing and you start working on something, there's a My Assets section where you just upload everything.
Oh, okay. I didn't see. Okay.
Yep. So then, for those of you that don't like to type or aren't quick at typing, just drag and drop your information. Me, I'm not bad, so I can do this fairly quickly. And that's all I do. Check this out. See that DBA logo right there? I'm just going to click on logos here, and I'm going to choose this one, and I'm going to drag and replace. Boom, done. Let's see. There's an app thing here. Maybe we can add that. My assets. Do I have my app link somewhere? Looks like I don't. That's okay. There's more than one way to. No, I won't say this one. We're working on a cat thing. There's more than one way to do something.
More than one way to skin a cat.
Someone knew where I was going with it. So all I'm doing is opening up another window, and I'm coming in here to find my app URL. Okay, there it is. Copy that. And I'm back in here. Boom. And I'm done. That didn't take very long. It takes a little practice, but there you go. What do you think?
That was quick.
So it won't take much time. Once you get the feel for it, it won't take any time at all. Of course, part of the 80 is learning some things. There is a little learning curve, but once you get used to it, you'll be happy about it for sure. Cool. And then all I would do, I have options. I can either print it out directly from here, or I could download it. I can download it as either a picture, so JPEG or PNG, or I can just download it as a PDF, right? I love that we have these options, because who's tried to post a PDF on your Facebook and got frustrated because it wasn't a picture?
Right.
All hands raised, because that me included. Got frustrated about it. You don't need to go and buy no Adobe Acrobat Pro to convert your PDF to a picture or anything like that. It's expensive. It's free in here. Just use this. You can also upload some PDF templates, or like if you like a flyer that a lender put together for you and you wanted to R&D it, right? Rip off and duplicate. You can do that within here. It'll literally break it down and you can edit that PDF and you can make it yours. It's pretty awesome. Cool. Well, that was a quick demo in this section here. Let's look at some case studies. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
All right. There's one person answered. There we go. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Sure, man. Let's
Yes.
do it. Sounds great. All right. So can everybody see the PowerPoint again? Okay.
Yeah, we can see it.
Perfect. Awesome. So let's take a look at this one. What do you think they're trying to get across to us in this design?
How open and spacious the home is.
That's one thing. What else are they trying to get across to us?
Warm and inviting, very homey.
Warm and inviting, very homey. Right. Okay. What else is anybody saying here?
Older home because it's brick, maybe.
Okay. So we got a home with some character from days past. I like it. What else?
Family feasts. You got all the pots and pans, the nice dining room table, all that, it says come cook here.
There you go. Okay. Awesome. Does anybody else see something? What pops out at you?
Could be come over, watch a game, or come over, watch a movie or something with us.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. So we got a lot of inviting. We got some entertaining going on there. Let's eat. Let's cook. Let's do all these cool things. But do you think that's the purpose of this? The only purpose of this this design here?
Welcome home.
Welcome home.
Well, I think it's just simply inviting you to an open house, isn't it?
Right. And notice how long it took for somebody to say that.
Well, I was.
Is it conveying that message?
Well, I'm wondering, am I missing the point, or? Wrong.
I mean, all of what you say is valid. All of it is valid, right? To some, it's like, yeah, I feel invited. It looks inviting. I'm going to come, right? But what is it that they're advertising? An open house. You're invited. Teeny little letters, open house, right? Like it doesn't. To me, it doesn't say an open house. You're invited. It doesn't say that. It just says you're invited to what? To come sit and cook and eat and be entertained, right? What's its purpose, right? So like, see how small right here. Here's where open house is said. It is super tiny compared to that. I probably would have gone and made this open house text larger.
Yeah.
Make it stick out a little bit more. Maybe reduce the you're invited portion and introduce another little section here for the open house. Maybe, right? If I can make it work aesthetically. What do you guys think about everything else that they chose to do? They got the logo on the bottom right with a little picture of their group there. What do you guys think of that?
Kind of makes it seem like they're not as important as what as you're invited, maybe.
Okay. Well, maybe that's on purpose too, right? Because they want to be able to sell this home first, bring people in. And if either one of these ladies is there hosting this open house, that's when they get to make it known that, hey, this is our listing. This is what we're doing, holding this open house. Right?
Also, by putting the picture on there, you'll go to look to recognize those people, or you'll be looking for them when you go to the open house instead of just
instead of just a random person, right? It does happen. I mean, we as Keller Williams agents, we love holding open houses for other agents within our brokerage. Right? That's one way we can all get our businesses rolling. And if you're wondering why I'm looking to the right, that's where all your pictures are. I'm trying to look at your faces here. I have two monitors here. Cool. That's cool. So far, I think we're learning what we're seeing here. I like it. Let's take a look at another one, shall we? All right, we got this one. What is this one telling us?
Things are heating up.
Things are heating up. Okay.
So you got 4 active houses for sale and 26 under contract. But they're not telling us the average days on the market.
Okay.
Market data.
So they're trying to sell a community.
They're trying to sell a community. Yep, they're trying to sell a neighborhood, that Gem Heights. I don't know about you, but looking at these price points and then looking at these backyards with tennis courts and pools and stuff like that, I don't think these price points match up. Especially if they're like back east, these are $1 million homes easy. $1 million plus. All right, look at this one. How many different roof angles does it have? That's a ton. So this is probably like a $2 million house at minimum. Right? So we're looking at that. So it's informational. It's talking to us about the neighborhood. Right? So that's cool. I don't like this. We should be able to fix that, right? Average days on market seems like it'd be pretty quick looking at how many active homes there are remaining out of 30 that are under contract. How quickly are these being sold? I would love to know what that average days on market looks like here. Wouldn't you? I would. It's part of the stats.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, great. Homes are selling, but how quickly are they moving? They might have an aggressive timeline. Can that market be used to get that home sold as quickly as they needed to be sold? Right? That's how people are interpreting average days on market. Right? And then after that, it's a pricing conversation. What else are they doing in this design here?
They're giving you an aerial view of the community.
Aerial view of the community. Okay. And then comparatively speaking, compared to the one previous to this one, what do we see a little bit more prominently on this design?
Heartlink Homes, Keller Williams.
Okay. Yep, that's right. I mean, look how big that logo is. It's like boom, right in your face. There's a picture and then wham. Heartlink Homes. They want you to know who's providing this information. Right? Make sure that you recognize that it's Heartlink Homes. And then you got the brokerage information, the brokerage logo there. Looks pretty good. How would you improve this one?
Definitely the days on market.
Right? Yep, I agree.
make the brokerage larger, I would think.
Okay, you can. I think they did it right with having the heart link right smack in the middle and large, right? They want to be recognized because
There's
that's part
not
of our
a
branding too.
specific agent.
I'm sorry?
There's not a specific agent.
Right? There's not an agent, but it looks like they're doing this
Who
for
do you
lead generation.
call?
Looks like it is a team that's doing this, right? So if you're a team leader, you'd want to generate leads for your team. So you're generally not going to have any one specific agent on your ad. At least this is what it's telling me.
Oh.
So you know that they're trying to sell the HeartLink homes and what's available and what the price is, but who do you contact? And how do you contact them?
Right. So let's think that this could possibly be a postcard design, right? On the postcard design, just for reference, we know that the back will actually contain contact information.
Okay.
Right. So it'll have the return address, it'll have the team name, it'll have a phone number, it'll have a few more pieces of information, website links.
Okay.
A lot of different ways of doing that. But yeah, good recognizing. It's not obvious here. It's not very apparent that that information will come through, but in that instance, as a postcard, it definitely would. Even if it's a social media post, what's going to come along with this one?
Well, your
Probably
page.
a link, right? Probably a link to a website or a landing page of sorts. And there's where you'll find some of that information. Cool. Anybody else have anything else that they'd like to improve on this before we move on to the next one? Going once, going twice, and we're moving on. Okay. All right, let's take a gander at this one. What are we seeing here?
Listing.
Okay, we got listings.
A range of possibilities.
Okay. Yep, we're seeing that. We see something really well kept. We're seeing something with a little bit of deferred maintenance, it looks like, at least evident in the driveway and the lawn there. And then we have a completely vacant lot. A lot of diversity in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see. Wow. A 3-1 for 115. I wonder where we're at. We're in Wichita. Okay, we're in Wichita. Great. Is Bentley around Wichita? Does anybody know? I don't know either. It's probably like Marana to Tucson, maybe. That's cool. Okay. What is this telling us exactly? It's all in the details. What are they doing? Is it telling us what Armstrong and Company has been doing? What they have going on in terms of listings and sales? Is that what they're telling us?
Yeah, I guess
I would say that's fair.
what's available.
Yeah, what's available by them. Could they also be advertising for another agent? Maybe they could be using another listing to advertise for to gain leads. That's a possibility if it's allowed there. We can do it. Just got to give credit to whose listing it is. Right, open builder. Right, so that's kind of cool. They can just come in and custom build on that one. At least that's the intent with the vacant lot saying open builder. Right. How would you improve this?
I would mow the vacant lot.
Have sporadic bushes and trees all over the place, but it's very well mowed. I think it looks pretty good. It's pretty straightforward, letting you know, hey, this is what we got going on. This home just sold. These other two properties are available. Could be everything they have, could be just a little bit. We have the on a consistency on all of these so far is each office is independently owned and operated. That's good to see. That is our ownership statement, right? Because it's KW is a franchise. That's why we have Signature Partners, Southern Arizona, Arizona Realty, Keller Williams Realty, Phoenix, Keller Williams, Sonoran Living. You know, I'm just trying to name some brokerages off the top of my head here in Arizona. That's KW, but they're all owned by different people, but all still KW. Right? Pretty cool. All right, so we got another piece to make. Let's do it. So we did a flyer the last time. What should we make this go round?
Door hangers for an apartment complex.
Ooh, okay.
To convert renters into buyers.
Cool. Well, one thing I'm going to note is you don't want to disturb, that's for sure. And you want to be able to come back. So door hangers are a good way. Just don't knock on every door. Renters will complain because renters are good at that.
You're giving them your phone number so they know who to complain to.
Yep. So maybe a postcard would be better for those ones. Absentees, you can go to absentee homes. You can get a list of from title company about absentee ownership on properties, right? You could probably door hang those or door hang on an open house you're going to do in the area, that kind of thing.
Okay. An open house door hanger.
Okay, I'm just going to save this one here for later. Okay, so let's go right back into designs here. We're going to open this up. And you guys wanted to do door hangers, so let's do it. So this is one thing that I didn't do the last time, but I'm going to do this time. You notice this plus button down here at the bottom right? That's how we're going to get started with creating our design here. We get a few options here: email, social, print, video, and there's that import PDF that I was talking about where you can rip off and duplicate another one's flyer. That's where you can do that from there. So I'm going to go ahead and choose, I'm going to choose print here, and I'm going to click next, okay? There is another option here. You see this import photos and text from a listing. For the purpose that we're talking about and gaining buyers, we're not going to click on that. We're not going to talk specifically about a property. We're going to talk about other things, okay? But that's what you could choose, and you can type in an address or MLS number to be able to pull in some of that listing information. All right, let's go ahead and click next. We are loading your workspace. Just a few more seconds. All right, here we are. So we're going to go ahead and click on buyer. You guys see this one right here? Buyer option. All right, so we got a couple things here. We got a neighborhood snap, which is kind of what we saw already in one of the previous case studies that we saw there, right? That's how we get moving on that.
Is that like a brochure sample, or are those individual? Oh, okay.
So what we're seeing here are just postcards, flyers, and door hangers in this example.
Okay.
Okay. We have Keller Mortgage stuff. Oh, we got new Keller Mortgage stuff built in here. That's a cool way to do that. That's a cool way to get in touch with some buyers. Hey, did you know that your money it can go a lot further now because of the low interest rates? Talk to a lender today to find out how much you can afford. It may be close to what you're paying in rent.
Right.
What? Right? So that's one way to do it. This one is pretty straightforward. You don't have to do any manipulation. Why don't we just open that one up? Does that sound cool? Is anybody familiar? Has anybody heard of Keller Mortgage yet?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah. And it's available to any KW agent. So if you have a listing out there, it's also available for a buyer that's working with an agent from another brokerage. Why? Because a KW agent is attached to it. So if you got somebody coming in and saying, hey, I want $6,000 in concessions for closing costs or whatever, then you're like, okay, well, why don't you use Keller Mortgage and save some money on your closing costs, and you might not need all these concessions or get it reduced, right? Because you want your sellers to have more money in their pockets when their home closes. All right, let's see. Let's use this one. All right, and it's loading up. Home loans made simple. Integrated with Keller Williams technology. You got a front and you got a back. Excuse me. Oh, how cool is that? They've already got the affiliated business disclosure built right into it. That's kind of cool. That's not bad. So you would print this out. If you're actively advertising Keller Mortgage, you'd print this out and then just have your client sign and add it to your file as one of the disclosures that's required. Cool. What do we need to do in this one? Not much. Not much at all. We're going to just replace the logo, it looks like. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to come to my logos. Choose this one. Drag and replace. Ta-da! I'm done.
Well, on the other side, I think there was a place to like insert your name or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, did I miss that? I think to from. Yep, you can add your from right there. Is that what you're thinking?
No, placeholder.
Oh, good eye. Good eye. I like it. Actually, let's get those brackets out there. They look kind of funny, right? Right? Notice that Jesse Rojas, with which you're... Oh, let's actually change this. Maybe make better sense like this. I don't know.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Based on the context, right?
Yeah.
And then we got a little bit of formatting challenges here, but at least it's pretty simple. Right? Formatting is easier versus creating in some regards. Right? A couple deletes. Never hurt anybody. Oh. Don't worry, there's an undo button.
Yeah, there you go.
I got all sad right there. Oh. All my deletes for nothing. Okay, there's a gap right here. So there's a strange gap. Okay, we'll have to work around the gap, but I think it's fine. Right, and then provider for settlement services. You know, it's going to be, you know, in some examples, it might be title of security. Blah, 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 blah. Right? So this is the to, from, date. So to, client, name, yada, yada. Can't type in it. It's not an active typing thing. So this is just something you have in your buyer's packet. And even your seller's packet. Just have it there because our sellers also are buyers somewhere else, right?
Right.
So there you go. So that was pretty simple. Pretty easy. Just replace the logo, did a couple edits, and we're done. Let's do another one. I think we have time for one more. So let me ask this while this one's loading. Who's going to jump into command and start messing around with these designs and figure out how they work? I got one. I got two. I got three. I can't see everybody. Sorry. But
I already tried, but mine wouldn't load.
Oh, well, what browser are you using?
I'm using Safari.
That's the problem. You
Yeah,
should use
Chrome is better. I learned that the hard way.
Yep. Command is optimized for Chromium-based browsers. So Microsoft Edge or Chrome work best in my experience. The new Edge is actually pretty cool compared to the old one. Man, that old one, I wouldn't use that one over again. Okay, let's do another one. Every one of us has an app and it has a website provided through command. Has anybody already set those up?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, cool. So why don't we talk about advertising your app then? Does that sound cool? Yeah. Okay. So as these all load, there's a lot of different little templates. Jiminy Cricket. There's a lot more than I thought. Okay. So let's see. I got a lot of these. If you get that 3 a.m. answers and your 3 a.m. questions, got a lot of those. Anything we can customize, maybe a flyer. Let's check out a flyer real quick. All right, so this one is advertising a specific listing, right? So let's see how quickly we can do this. Who has an active listing right now? Anybody? Okay, I saw one hand go up. So check this out. We're going to click on KWLS right here. And we are going to find the listing. So what's the address, Letha?
I want to say 419 4th Street, Winkleman. It's a handyman special, looking for investors. Actually have an appointment today at 12 with a contractor that is interested, so keep fingers crossed.
I wish there was a $sign street. Sorry. Is it already listed?
It is. Hold on just a second. I might not be giving you the right address.
Okay. Let's see. Just I'm going to search by me. Maybe we'll use one of my previous listings here. It won't load.
That's 419 4th Street. I was right.
419 4th. Sometimes I can type 4th Street. Let's see. Negative ghostwriter. It's not coming up.
It's in the Tucson MLS.
Yeah, it should come up. Do you have the MLS number?
I do. I do. Give me just a second. It's got to load this. It's a Word program. It takes a second for it to come up. But it has my description, and I put my MLS number on there. 220-299-02.
There you are. Okay, cool.
You need We Buy Ugly Houses, right? That's
Okay, cool. All right, awesome. So we're going to throw this MLS number in here. Let's find it. There it is. Nice. Okay. So let's choose a hero photo. I think we're going to go with this one maybe. Yeah, why not? Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and go back here. And I think what happened here? I want information. There it is, listing details. So we get photos, which is pretty good. It's the first thing that we see. And then we have listing details, which is also pretty awesome. And at the very bottom is going to be the property description that you had used, right? So I'm going to click on that. And it automatically just throws it in here. I like to double click into the box, and I like to copy that information. And then I also just remove move this box out of the way so I don't see it, and I'll get rid of it here in a second. I'm going to go ahead and select all that information and just replace the text. Right. So some quick copy pastes, and I'm off to the races. Right. Property features, if you want to add them, you can. Otherwise, let's just leave that. I'm going to get rid of this actually. Is that okay? So there we go. Nice and easy. We're advertising the app, so we're going to replace this. And I'm going to delete that HTTPS part because that's necessary. And I'm going to delete this extra bit of web address here. And I'm going to reformat this box so that it all fits in one line, just like that. And I want it centered to a degree. All right, that should be good. Right, and then I'm going to do what I did on the last one. I'm just going to replace some images. So my assets, I'm going to put my picture there. There it is. Again, just type up some information. Replace some logos. We're going to replace these details on this listing. So it's for $49K. All right. Let's go in here. It is a 3-bed, 2-bath. It's pretty easy having it all on one page, right? All your information is right there on the left. I like that. It makes it super easy to fill in this data. What does it do for you? Well, there's some things that you just got to do for yourself. You know, that's the name of the game. Built in 1969. And let's put the address. 419. Keep doing $, my bad. 4th Street. Is that right? Winkleman? Right. We can reduce this text size so that it fits all in that box. We'll go 26. Boom. And we're done. Right? Except for a couple little pieces of personal contact information there. We're done. It doesn't take much time. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Kind of as quick as that first flyer we did. You know? All right. Who would like to share their thoughts on what they've seen so far in Command?
It's pretty straightforward programming. I mean, it looks like it'd be pretty easy to create in there.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. Nicole, what do you think?
I think that there's a lot to offer. And, you know, obviously you just got to play around with it and learn. For me, I like to have actual something that I need to make to do it. Just, you know, practicing, and is harder for me to do. So, you know, I want a listing, I want a event or something, you know what I mean?
Right. So we're talking about lead generation. We're talking about marketing. You can use another KW agent's listing to begin. You don't have to wait for yours specifically.
Yeah.
If you advertise for another KW Southern Arizona agent's listing, and it's hooked up to your platform, you're going to get the lead. Right. That's the way that works. It's pretty cool.
I think I'm missing something somewhere. If there's a listing, isn't that already the agent's lead? Didn't they put the listing in there?
So there's always this thing, right? So you can contact the agent, which is what I've done in the past. I'm like, hey, I saw you have a listing here on this property. Mind if I run an ad on that? And most KW agents are gonna be like, no, go right ahead. You know, my focus is getting the home sold if I'm the listing agent, right?
Right. So then what's happening if you find a buyer for someone's listing? Are you splitting the commission with that listing agent?
Get
You become the cooperating agent. You become the cooperating agent, and you both can work the deal if they end up accepting the offer.
Oh, okay.
Right. So that's where it brings into the limited representation addendum to the whole purchase contract, because we are the broker's agent, right? So we're first the broker's agents, and then we're the client's agents, right?
Right.
So the dual agency applies all the way up to the broker, and that limited representation applies to us in that regard. So the likelihood of one of us selling another KWSA agent's listing is actually kind of high.
Right. Because of how
So-
small the listings are.
Right. We tend to.
My wife
advertise
and I,
ourselves
we
first.
sold our other house.
You sold your other house?
We sold our other house before we started real estate, and they were a dual agency in that one because she found somebody in her company, and then we used the same real estate agent to find this house, and they ended up being both dual agencies in that agency as well. So the buyer and sellers are all the same companies on both sides.
Yep. Happens more frequently than you think. It's kind of cool.
But you still need a buyer to try to sell someone else's listing.
Right, but not to advertise for. Does that make sense? You can use
But
another
you're going to
agent's listing.
advertise for someone else's listing without even having a buyer?
You can, yeah, that's how you can gain buyers for it.
You're trying to attract one.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Okay, this is interesting.
So like the whole purpose of you putting your listing on the MLS is to attract another agent to bring a buyer to you so that, you know, you get 3%, they get 3%.
Okay.
Or whatever the commission ends
If
up
you're-
being negotiated.
If you're advertising another agent's listing, you're trying to attract a buyer for that listing, a buyer for you to represent.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's super cool. It's awesome. I actually enjoy working with another Keller Williams agent on the other side. Why? Because we're all trained the same way. We all have the same standard of practice, and it's makes it a lot simpler. Believe it or not, I've closed several. I actually have one dual agency going on myself right now, where I got the listing and I got the buyer, so it happens. It's kind of cool. You got to navigate it carefully. Don't want to be dumb about things, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of cool things that you can do with this. But yeah, you can start holding it. It's pretty much the same as holding an open house for another KW agent, right? You're generating the leads, you're spending the time, you get the people in there, you capture their information. Those are your leads.
Right. That part I knew. I knew that one, but I didn't know the advertising someone else's listing. I feel like I guess I didn't realize it feels like you're doing their work for them.
Sort of, but
Uh-huh.
they're giving you the opportunity to grow your business to do that
Right.
too.
Right.
You're advertising it, but with your phone number and your face. I mean, they've got in small print that the listing belongs to such and such person, but they're calling you to buy it.
Exactly.
Right. Got it. Okay.
Brand creation. That's what we're talking about. Marketing. You want to be that person they call.
Right.
Pretty cool. And that's how we do it with these flyers, all these other things. It's pretty awesome. So we are down to the wire. We got 2 minutes before we got to jump onto that. Kristen Cole, build your empire call. I'm really excited about this one. She is actually really good. Is a really great trainer. Has some really great information. So if you're planning on being on that, let's go ahead and move on over to that. And that'll conclude today's Ignite session. Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. Thanks for letting me share in, kind of spill all over the place some information into your business.
Thank you.
And a lot, Jesse. Thank you.
You got it.
Thank
And
you.
I'm here every week. I teach Command Like a Boss every Thursday. I will be redesigning the curriculum starting next year. So be on the lookout for that. We'll have different levels of everything. We'll be chunking it down. As a preview, here's the way it's going to be structured. You guys ready? Boom. Anybody recognize this?
We can't see it.
Anybody? Oh, right there. Okay. It's kind of visible now. It's a lead generation model. And what it does is it's basically a funnel, and we talk about every section in Command and how it functions to serve your business. be on the lookout for that. All right. Well, thanks so much again, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's class and got something out of it. Let me know what your experience is like in command and how I can help you even further. All right. I appreciate you, everybody. Take care now. We'll see you in the next one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.